Good afternoon. My name is Margaret Carr. I am the president of the Commemoration Committee for the Battle of Fort San Carlos, held at St. Louis, May 26, 1780. The 26th was the 243rd anniversary of the battle. I'm not sure that you all realize that I was able to get this onto the official Missouri calendar. So for the last 3 years, the May 26th is officially Battle of Fort San Carlos Day in Missouri. I appreciate very much that we can hold this service in this beautiful St. Genevieve Catholic Church. And everyone, please know that Francois Vallée II is buried, I'm gonna put this cane down, is buried right by those first pews there with his wife. He is the man who led 60 men to the battle in May of 1780. I want to also thank the pastor of this beautiful church for allowing us to be here. And I also know that Charles McLemore of the Southern District, he's Southern District Vice President General of the SAR. If he's here today, welcome. I know he was here yesterday. We are going to have our opening ceremony. The processional will be led by bagpipers Wayne Davis and Laurie Hartung, and the St. Genevieve Militia, and the Sons of the American Revolution Color Guard. Please stand. The Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem, will be led by the Star-Spangled Daughters. You may withdraw. You may be seated. I would like the Executive Director of French Colonial America, the History Museum campus in St. Genevieve, Jeff G. Girolamo, to speak for a moment.
Thank you. Thank you, Margaret, and thank you, all of you, for coming today, for making a choice on a kind of day when you could have been someplace else, but you're here. You know, Teddy Roosevelt has known one of his more memorable quotes about choices in time of decision, particularly. The best choice is to choose to do the right thing. The next best choice is to do maybe the wrong thing. The worst choice is to do nothing. Today, we're remembering people who chose to do the right thing. And that is something that, an inspiration and a reminder to all of us. So again, we thank you for being here with us today. Thank you to the Milice de St. Genevieve, to our various living history friends, to the SAR, our brothers from those groups who are here today. But again, especially, we want to thank Margaret for making sure, for choosing to make the effort to ensure that this story is not forgotten. Thank you.
Today, we're going to do the ceremony a little differently. The speaker is going to be later. He is Dr. Robert Moore, and he will be over at the French Colonial Life Center, which is right directly over here, and his talk starts at 3:15. So I'm going to go ahead and have the memorial ceremony, my rose ceremony, and the memorial roll call for those people that we do know died on May 26, 1780. I have people, the Daughters of the American Revolution are sitting in the front. Would you please get up and get in line behind Linda? Let's have you go first, Linda. Just stop right in front of the pew. And stop there, that's fine. Now, I want to do this a little slowly. I want to read who the person was and what we know about them as of now. The first name is Juan Coleman. Please put a rose in the vase. He was from Germany per the 1776 census. The next man is Thomas or Tomas, possibly Thomas Tyler, a farmer from America, or he might have been Thomas Blondeau, a trader from Canada per the 1776 census. Third one. His name in Spanish means another who was there. DeLeyva identifies him that way with no other name. The next one, Ignacio La Rosa, or Ignace La Rouche, from Fort Chart per the 1776 census and the 1779 St. Louis Cavalry Militia list. Thank you. And then you have a second one, San Juan or St. John, possibly Paul St. John, a member of the St. Genevieve Militia, and originally from Canada, per the 1779 St. Genevieve Militia list. Or he is St. John, member of the St. Louis Militia, per the 1779 St. Louis Infantry Militia list. Next, San Jorge, a member of the St. Louis Militia, per the 1779 St. Louis Infantry and Militia List. Next, Bizet, or Charles Bizet, a merchant from Canada, and he could have been Carlos Bizet, a farmer from Canada per the 1776 census and a 1779 St. Louis Cavalry Militia List. Calvé Hijo, which is a son of Joseph or Antonio Calvé, both of whom have a son. Local legend says it was Joseph Calvé Jr., also in the 1779 St. Louis Militia List. Pedro de Hetra, possibly Pierre de Chatre or Pierre Picotte Balestre per the author McDermott. Dabancourt. Dabancourt Barcelot was a rower from Canada per the 1779 St. Louis Infantry Militia List. Francisco Hubert, or he was Francois Hubert, a farmer from Fort Chart per the 1776 census, or he might have been Francisco Herbert, a hunter from Illinois, per the 1779 St. Louis Infantry Militia List. Glaudet, Pierre Gladue, farmer from Canada, per the 1776 census. Amable Guillon, 1779 St. Louis Infantry and Militia List. Real, Antoine Rehaley, merchant from France, per the 1776 census. Jean-Marie Cardinal, on the prisoner list but died trying to escape. Then a slave from a la Pierre. There were black people at the battle. A slave of Gabriel Saray. Another slave of Gabriel Saray. A slave of Madame Choteau. A slave of Bonnet. A slave of Louis Sanselier or Louis Chancelier. A slave of Pierre Picotte de Balestre. And I would like to put a rose in memory of Francois Valet II. He died later. He is buried in this church, but we need to honor him too. Fernando de Leyva dies within a month of the battle. He is not well, but we have his list of what happened that day. And then for the rest of you, I'm going to have just save one rose for the end. The rest of you, please put roses in for anyone else who may have died at the battle, the unknowns that we do not have any information for. I would appreciate that. And finally, I would like to do a rose for my late husband. Dan's been gone 10 years. He is the co-founder of the Commemoration for the Battle of Fort San Carlos. He did everything in the world to help me. Now I would like the bagpipers to please play Amazing Grace. We will now have our wreath laying ceremony. Peggy Strellinger will lay the French colonial America wreath. Rick Strellinger will lay the Sons of the Revolution wreath. I'm going to ask my friend Linda Mizell to please carry the commemoration wreath on this side of the table for me. I don't want to climb down the stairs right yet. On my side. This is a brand new wreath done by my John Sappington DAR chapter, because they said mine was a little shabby, so I'm happy to have a brand new wreath. And I do want pictures of all this later, please. It would be very important. I would like to ask the Star Spangled Donors to please sing God Bless America. Each year at this ceremony, I ask if anyone is a direct descendant of anyone who fought that day or who died to that day, to please stand and say who your person is.
My fourth great uncle, Jean-Baptiste Bouchet, fought in this battle, survived, and returned to St. Genevieve to live.
Descendant Joseph Alvarez Ortiz, who's a sergeant in the 2nd Company of St. Louis Militia, and he was the head of the 1st Second Force. It's all about the
Thank you, and we honor their service. If you are interested, the dolls that are up here aren't just dolls of the American Revolution. They were made by a friend of mine, Mary Jo Anderson, and there are names of the actual people. We did some research to find out what they would have worn at the battle. And then the little drums are made by my friend Melissa Wegman, who is in my John Sappington chapter. A couple of them say Lexington and Concord. So I honor people who have that kind of talent to be able to make this kind of thing. I have a book up here, and I can't climb the stairs to get it, but it's done by my friend who's in the España chapter in Spain, and it lists as much as we know of all the people who were in the area from 1779 to 1780. I have been able to help 2 people this spring join the Daughters of the American Revolution because of that book. It lists their names and their service. The DAR is now accepting the service of these people to be patriots. If anyone is interested in one of the medals, the drawing on the table was done by my late husband. We did a lot of research on what the tower would have looked like. The tower itself was torn down about 1820. So it's not there. One of my dearest wishes is to get it rebuilt. It only took them 2 months to build it. I think we can do it. And then I also have some of the copies of the coloring book. There are some for sale in the center, and I have 6 here that I'm willing to sell too. If anybody wants the coloring book, you can come look at that later. Announcements. Right after this, they're going to have a demonstration of the shooting of muskets right outside the church over here. So please watch that. Also, please join us at the Center for French Colonial Life, 198 Market Street, which is directly right over here, for our speaker's presentation. Dr. Robert Moore will speak on courage and cannonballs, a new look at the military aspects of the Battle of Fort San Carlos. His talk should begin at 3:15. The exhibit, Saving St. Louis, is still on display at the center. All right, we will have our closing ceremony and retrieval of the colors. Please stand.
Game. Higher. We got. So, fire lock. On 2. Egg. Ready. 2. Breathe in. Recover. Fire.
Sure. Fire lock. Ramrods, check. Rails.